Coming up on Mountain News this morning, health experts in our region continue to urge people to check on their mental health as our region continues to recover from flooding. And flood survivors here in Eastern Kentucky look for the right time and the right way to rebuild their homes.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning to you. It's almost 6 o'clock on this Friday, the end of the work week. Not the end of the work week for me. I have to work this weekend. Let's take it over to Brandon for a look at our forecast, who doesn't have to work this weekend. Brandon, good morning to you.
Work week.
It is.
There you go.
Well, I did have Wednesday, Thursday off.
There you go.
You know, Steve texted me. He said, "How are you enjoying your?" He said, "Like, how are you enjoying your days off?" I said, "Steve, you act like I have a whole week off." I said, I just have 2 days off. And he was like, "Well, how are you enjoying?" I was like, "What in the world, Steve?" I was like, "Okay, well."
At least he was concerned.
You know what? That's right. That's right.
That's right.
You know what? He's off, or he's having a grand old time.
That's
exactly. And we're having a grand old time with this weather because nothing's happening.
Exactly. We've had to try to scan the Atlantic and everywhere else to find something going on. But this morning, of course, just repeating myself over and over again. But this time I'll take it. Fog. So there is some moisture in the air. It's just fog related. Let's take a look at those visibility numbers this morning, and they're pretty low in a lot of locations. 0 is a popular number out there, 0 or 1. It's almost like binary code out there this morning, but we're again seeing some visibility issues across the region. Wise, Jackson, and London, full visibility right now, but a lot of those locations, except for London, up on ridges, so keep that in mind. Pikeville Medical Center, Pikeville at US 119, US 23, a little bit of traffic picking up over there this morning, but the fog still pretty prevalent over in that area. Temperatures 52 Jonesville, 62 Jackson. Ashland's down to 61, so we're losing our 60s slowly as we head towards 7 o'clock. And again, we might get into an upper 40 or 2 down toward Jonesville, maybe. We'll see how that plays out this morning. Usually the fog helps insulate just a little bit. So a little extra coffee on the coffee meter this morning. In the next dozen hours, as the donuts clear, the sun stays the same, and it's going to be a warmer afternoon with highs topping out in the mid-80s. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. Well, we now know more about the 40th flood-related death Governor Beshear announced earlier this week. The Pike County coroner told us 76-year-old Glendale Hall-Avergy died on September 2nd. Hall was helping repair a flooded bridge when he fell into the creek bed. During Thursday's Team Kentucky news conference, Governor Beshear announced all 40 funerals have been paid for by the Team Eastern Kentucky Flood Relief Fund. This means that Hall's funeral was one of the services covered by the fund. In total, the state has spent approximately $400,000 to pay for the funerals. Here is what the governor had to say.
As of today, 40 fatalities in 6 counties, 8 in Breathitt, 2 in Clay, 19 in Knott, 3 in Letcher, 7 in Perry, and 1 in Pike.
The past 3 deaths did not happen during the flood, but were flood-related. Officials stress caution and safety while cleanup efforts continue. Governor Beshear also announced an additional 51 travel trailers have arrived in Eastern Kentucky since September 7th. He says 371 people are being housed, and the 132 travel trailers are located across 7 state parks. Individuals needing emergency shelter in travel trailers can register online at governor.ky.gov/flood resources or by calling the number you see on your screen. Yesterday, the governor announced people in Lee County are now eligible to receive disaster unemployment assistance. People can apply for benefits online by using the Kentucky Career website or by calling 502-875-0442. The deadline to apply is October 10th. The flood cleanup and recovery is going to take months, maybe even years, and the toll of that is just more than financial. It's emotional and mental. Our Olivia Calfee talked with a medical professional to offer some help to those hurting.
The people in Eastern Kentucky are known to be resilient. But what do you do after a natural disaster when life gets hard?
People have suffered losses in different manner. They have lost their property, they have lost their investments, they have lost their loved ones. And we've had people who were just gone because of this tragic event.
Dr. Fazal is the Assistant Medical Director of Behavioral Health for ARH and works with various medical clinics in the area. He says there are important steps to take if you are struggling with your mental health.
First best thing you folks can do is talk to the next person to you. Tell someone how you're feeling. Let it out. Second thing is get help. There are resources outside which can come to you.
If you are okay but notice someone around you who might be struggling, he says it is important to get involved.
Few questions like, hey, are you okay? Is there anything I can do? We'll just immediately tell you their response, and you can assess whether it is their normal response or it is something different. And that can raise a little bit of red flag, and you can respond immediately.
He says first, offer help. Second, help reach out to a medical professional for expert help if needed. Do not take it lightly and do not wait until it is too late.
Don't ignore any slight deviation from normal behavior.
Because it could be a sign that someone around you might need extra help.
Be more sensitive to this situation because it might prevent somebody from going into severe depression or PTSD, or you might save a life of a person who might be thinking of ending it all.
Someone around you might be struggling. Do not wait to offer help or receive it. In Perry County, Olivia Calvi, WYMT Mountain News.
Well, if you think you need help when it comes to your mental health, you can call or text the number 988 or reach out to someone online using 988lifeline.org. Well, the Community Trust Bank in Neon reopened this week. The bank was damaged by floodwaters in downtown Neon, so a lot of the building had to be replaced. Marketing President Reed Cottle says staff wanted to reopen quickly as a morale boost for the town.
We're just so glad to be back and be a part of it. We want to make a statement that, we're here for Neon and we want to help our community people, the people in Neon.
Cottle says 4 out of the 5 Letcher County locations have now reopened, with the Isom branch still in progress. Many questions have surfaced since the flood for survivors, including how and when they can rebuild their homes. Our Chandler Wilcox details how some flood victims are now finding out rebuilding may be even more complicated than they originally thought.
Eastern Kentuckians across the region have been living in floodplains without a permit for years. Now that their houses were destroyed in the flood, many are finding out they need a permit to build back.
It's just something else we have to deal with after having our homes flooded and losing our automobiles and losing all of our possessions. And
Leadership in Letcher County are working fast to help survivors find solutions.
We're just trying to help people understand, do you need a permit? And if you do need a permit, walking them through what that process looks like so they can get it submitted and get things moving.
The County Judge Executive Office hired Stahl to speed up the process of finding out who needs a permit.
No, it's a very defined process. It's just a matter of making sure the maps are up to date, which is why KDOW's in the process of updating them even as we speak.
As fall draws near and temperatures drop, the importance of having a warm home is increasing.
And one thing is wintertime is coming on, and folks need to be back into their homes and back in a warm, safe environment.
With redrawn lines, Letcher Countyans are in limbo trying to rebuild their homes. In Whitesburg, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
Well, there is no timeline showing when floodplain lines will be complaint lines will complete, but state officials recommend checking with the Kentucky Division of Water before rebuilding homes. Students across Kentucky are joining in the fight against food insecurity. The Christian Appalachian Project is hosting hunger walks in several areas. Like in Lexington yesterday, local leaders joined students at Lexington Christian Academy. Well, they set a goal to raise 25,000 pounds of food. So far, they've collected 8,000. Dr. Scott Wells with LCA says he's grateful to be part of the school that wants to help.
But it's always nice when we can gather as a family and literally walk and bring awareness to food insecurity. We don't realize at LCA that many of our neighbors, even here in Fayette County, have food insecurity issues. And so we are blessed beyond measure. And because we're blessed, we're called to give back.
Well, there was also a hunger walk in southern Kentucky Thursday morning. Students and community members over in Rockcastle County joined the effort. Christian Appalachian Project estimates 1 in 5 children face food insecurity in Appalachia.
6:08 here on this Friday morning. Thank goodness it's Friday, but not thank goodness we're still seeing the same old pattern with the fog. Let's take a look and see what's going on out there this morning. Dense fog, near zero visibility, drove through quite a bit of that this morning, so continue to be careful. It's drifting through the region this morning, so take it easy out there. Early temperatures again, 52 to 62 from Jonesville to Jackson, and again a lot of mid to upper 50s out there right now this morning. 53 Clintwood, 53 Irvin, 61 in Ashland. the kind of secondary warmest and coolest. So again, temperatures out there by 8, right around 60 degrees, 84 this afternoon. A few clouds may drift in at times, but it's going to be another beautiful day. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you so much. It's almost 6:09 when we come back to our Mountain News this morning. Thousands of people continue to line up to give their thanks and respects to Queen Elizabeth II ahead of her funeral next week. Stay with us.